Thank you very much for tuning in. So this is a call that came in on the 17th of September 2023. It's Andrew calling in. He describes himself as a progressive Catholic, which sounds to me like quite a kind of strange term. Never heard that one before. And they spent 15 minutes or so talking about that. And eventually Matt asked, well, what are your actual reasons for believing? And he went down the road of argument ad populum, saying that the Christianity, Catholicism has been so influential, etc. It's embraced universal values. And Matt's going to pull him up on that, and he's going to move on to something else. So let's see where it goes.
So, else it wouldn't have been so popular.
So I asked you for objectively verifiable evidence that Christianity is true, and what you gave me was an argumentum ad populum.
I think he misheard the question because that was so far.
I mean, you literally presented a logical fallacy, not objectively verifiable evidence. What objectively verifiable evidence has been presented to show that any version of Christianity is true?
I already tried the first time. I'm probably not understanding it, or I don't have any objective, verifiable evidence. Just religion. I'm just appealing to religious experience.
Why on earth would you believe that something is true if you don't have evidence that it's true? Are you just going on intuition the way Daniel was advocating last night?
Not just tuition, religious experience itself.
Religious experience.
I continue to have religious experience.
Yeah, religious experience. Typically when Christians call in, they have maybe 6 different reasons that they believe in the existence of God and the existence of the Christian God. And religious experience is something that they usually end up with once all the others have been knocked down. They come to that last, meaning it's usually, even they acknowledge that it's usually the weakest reason for believing in your religion. Although, to be honest with you, in reality, it's possibly the number one reason why most people believe in religions.
Okay, list one religious experience that you think testifies to the truth of Christianity.
Christianity being one of the truths. Just religious experience when I take the Eucharist at a Mass, I feel an overwhelming presence.
So he gets down on his knees, he puts a wafer in his mouth, and he drinks a cup of disgusting sweet red wine. And that gives him the religious experience that convinces him Christianity is true.
Catholic?
You don't remember?
So you're a progressive Christian who supports a criminal organization, and your evidence is that when you take the Eucharist, you feel something, therefore Christianity is true. And you don't see that that's logically flawed?
Well, I mean, even if you take out the bit about the criminal organization, just say organization, it's still logically flawed. The criminal organization thing is something that he could start potentially nitpicking over, but he won't.
I didn't present a logical argument.
I'm sorry. Shut up. When I ask you for a reason and you give a reason and I say it's logically flawed, it's not a response to say I didn't present a logical argument. I asked you for the reason, the evidence that you have that Christianity is true. You presented a logical fallacy and an argumentum ad populum to begin with, and then the next one you appealed to personal feeling. But your personal feeling doesn't in any way demonstrate that Christianity is true, because you could have that feeling even if Christianity is not true, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So you admit you don't. Do you have any good reason to believe what you believe?
I presented 2, but
sir, you have not presented any. No, sir. No.
Yeah, well, he presented 2 reasons, and the point is, for him, they're good enough. Yeah, so he set the bar quite low. They're fallacies, but they're good enough for him. But they're not good enough for others like myself, Matt, skeptics, etc., who set the bar much higher. Of course not.
No, sir, you have not presented any good reason. You presented a fallacy and an appeal to emotion, which is another fallacy. Do you have a non-fallacious reason that you think Christianity is true? Thanks for nothing.
Yeah, it's quite possible that he doesn't really understand what fallacies are, and so he just went silent.
Well, I think he's just thinking and can't come up with one. Andrew, I have
of course he can't come up with one.
I have a few very quick final questions. First of all, it is true that you are a Catholic, yes?
Yes.
You also consider yourself a progressive Christian, or you're just advocating for them?
No, I consider myself a progressive Catholic.
Okay. When the progressive Catholic is a bit different than progressive Christian. If a vote on a federal ban on abortion were to happen, would you vote for the federal abortion?
I would want to take abortion. I would not want to make my religion legal. I wouldn't.
Well, that's not answering the question.
Not want to use the law to enforce my views on abortion.
If the Catholic Church indicated as and usually they have to be careful in the way they.
Well, I would say forget about religion. How would you personally vote on this matter?
They do the language, but they did this as well as the Catholic Church back during the Prop 8 days. If they indicated that it was important that you vote on this issue, and then in the same words, in the same breath, said things like, we must protect the right to life, if it was a clear message from the Catholic Church that they were asking their membership to vote in favor of a federal ban, would you then do so?
If directed by the Pope, I would have to as a Catholic.
So, sir,
you think you're a rational person because the Pope tells you to do something, you have to. Thanks for throwing your freedom and humanity in the fucking toilet.
I wonder how you could be a progressive Catholic, because progressive implies that in some ways you differ from the Orthodox Catholic doctrines. And if you're just saying that you'll do whatever the Pope tells you to do, I wonder how you could really call yourself a progressive Catholic, because if the Pope tells you to vote in line with all the Orthodox doctrines, then I presume you would have to do so. So how could he call himself a progressive Catholic?
Earlier, we did an experiment where I asked you about whether or not there are people who will vote their religion basically against their conscience, against how they would actually vote were it not for that religion. And you had skepticism that would be the case, and have just confirmed that you are one such Catholic that would do so, or one such progressive Christian. And so now, to put very simply, and then give you, let's say, 15 seconds to end the call, my final words to you are, that's the beef I have with progressive Christianity. Andrew, 15 more seconds, and then we're moving on.
No, I appreciate I appreciate secular humanism, and I think we're just better off reforming religion to be more secular, more humanist.
I don't give a shit what you think. You'll do whatever the Pope tells you. You have no good understanding of reality. You have no good reason for your belief. I don't care if you pay lip service to secular humanism. If you were truly in favor of secular humanism, you would not blindly follow what the fucking Pope says, and you would care whether or not your beliefs are true and whether or not have good reasons. You are not honest. You are lying to yourself about who you are and what you believe.
Yeah, I hope you sit with what just happened and really think about it. We're moving on.
Okay, excellent summing up there from Matt. Couldn't agree with him more. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.